100 को आपको
We
लेके
are live. We are live.
Good evening, dear Foxians. It gives me immense joy to welcome you all to a truly special edition of Gyan Prava, our 100th episode. What began as a visionary initiative by none other than Dr. Sunita Tandulwadkar, our dynamic FOGSI president, has now become a century strong legacy of inspiration. I am Dr. Sejal Naik, Chairperson of FOGSI Endoscopy Committee, and I am honored to be your host on this momentous occasion. Days after days, Gyan Prava has brought us face to face with exceptional minds, pioneers, and legends who have shaped the landscape of women's health. It has grown into a living library of motivation, a wellspring of purpose and passion of every gynecologist on their own unique journey. Reaching this 100th milestone is not just a number, it is a celebration of vision, consistency, and the collective spirit of learning. And today, it is only fitting that we shine the spotlight on the very force behind this incredible journey, Dr. Sunita Tandulwadkar, a trailblazer in endoscopy, IVF, robotics, and regenerative medicine. She is redefining leadership through compassion, courage, and clarity. As a president, Foxy, and founder of this Gyan Prava, she leads not only with the excellence but with the profound belief that true leaders inspire and nurture the next generation. So, with heartfelt gratitude and deep admiration, I now invite my mentor, guide, and driving spirit behind this 100th episode of Journey, Dr. Sunita Tandulwadkar, to deliver her special note on this episode. We welcome you, ma'am.
Can we stop sharing? Thank you so much, Sejal. Thank you for your kind words. But let me be honest, I can't take the complete credit. The credit goes to the brilliant minds who designed this Gyan Pravaha with me. That is Dr. Ashwini Kale, Pooja Lodha. I was saying Ashwini Lodha and Pooja Kale. Itna both of them are with me. Sejal, you yourself. There were enormous Thursday evening meetings at least every week, brainstorming, and that's where the Gyan Pravaha came. After his existence, what has made this Gyan Pravaha special is U30 committee chairperson. So the credit goes to you. Kumar, you are on my 100th episode.
Thank
And
you.
I'm so glad that Krishnakumar, my best friends for last 3 decades or more, we share so much with each other for years and years. And he is your faculty. Our guest today is my most important pleasure. Yeah, Ashwini is here. So I was telling Ashwini that this Gyan Pravaha has come out by the brilliant minds of Ashwini, Pooja, Sejal, everyone sitting and brainstorming last year on Thursdays so that we can have the best of this year. Now, we never thought that this Gyan Pravaha will become so hit. Let me tell you honestly, these 30 committee chairpersons of ours are putting a huge efforts, academic, non-academic, Indian, global platform, social, spiritual, philosophical, every background. They take the faculty and they have best of the dialogue coming out. What is important is I never felt it is for me. I thought for my committee chairperson, I don't want it webinar, but I need to give them something on the platter which they will cherish and where their imagination, their creation, their passion will come out. Sometimes FOGSI presidency may be a director for your committee chairperson who are the future leaders of FOGSI. And what was most important thing I learned in these 100 episodes is I evolved myself. Every night, meeting 8 o'clock, the faculty of that repute. So much to learn. Means there is no words. I don't think these committee chairpersons I have done for them, I think they have given me a lot by inviting one of the best. Here I see Archana. I would not have been known, the complete Maharaja and the king and the queen and their lifestyle, how much they have done for the society. It was amazing, including yesterday, Asha, she did with one AI person, the invention, the brilliant minds together. And I can't keep on because I'll take 1 hour for that. Today we are with Sejal again, always coming out with the brilliant podcast series. And when it is with the most academic, experienced past president of IAG, Dr. Krishnakumar, I think it will be one of the best and we will all enjoy together. And I'm so glad. First, I always used to think joining 8 o'clock. Even Ashwini Pooja has warned me, ma'am, it's too much of a commitment you are giving to all. Do you think 8 p.m. every time is possible? I said, listen, this year we are working beyond ourselves. So let's do something which is not possible by everyone and by us any other time. And in case if I am in the flight, in the air, or on the stage doing Diyabatti, it is always Ashwini who comes to rescue us or one of the vice presidents. So I'm so, so thankful. Ashwini, you are a brilliant joint secretary I have. Let me tell you honestly to all chairperson, every president do something, they will work hard. But when you have a joint secretary like Ashwini, it doubles your enjoyment. I think, Kumar, you will understand. You were the secretary for ESAR and IIG, and I'm sure your presidents enjoyed because you were working day in and out for them. Same is with Ashwini. Many projects are given to Ashwini and she's independently managing them. For example, UNFPA, the entire project coming out with the white sheet, brilliant ideas. I just need to give a nodding, which otherwise also I don't have a word no in my dictionary, and that no word, no never use no word has taught me a big lesson of a Baku, where international committee exchange committee chairperson has come and I said just do it, and I realized you cannot just say yes to everything. You should use your brilliant mindset. You don't go away with the emotions during presidency. You need to think the consequences as well. But anyway, every act makes us learn something, evolve ourselves, and these are the experiences. Though majority of time in the practice we see the others mistake and we become wise, but that's the life we'll move on. And I'm thankful to each and every committee chairperson. It's coming from bottom of my heart. You made this Gyan Pravaha the most important activity of 2025. Thank you. And I think we will have many moments to celebrate. Getting Nitin Gadkari was also, I think, our Amravati girl, she's not here, she's here, Alka. She got Nitin Gadkari to speak on this podcast was highlight. I know today I'm speaking little longer than otherwise, but I think we all committee chairpersons have joined today to celebrate their day. I have my Vice President Shamal who had joined. Welcome, Shamal. And these committee chairpersons are really the cabinet ministers of FOGSI who does huge work, and I'm proud of them. And I'll be standing proudly in any one of them will be taking the higher and higher chair. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, madam. Thank you. You always speak with lots of energy. You pour all the fuel inside us to keep on moving. Thank you, ma'am. You are an inspiration.
Thank you.
So, I would like to introduce today's our guest. Dr. Krishnakumar sir. So today we are truly honored to host a legend whose name is synonymous with precision, purpose, and pioneering excellence, Dr. S. Krishnakumar. From the classrooms of school and Parle College to the esteemed halls of TN Medical College and onwards to the global centers of excellence in France, Australia, and Germany, his journey has been nothing short of extraordinary. With over 40 years of clinical experience, he is not just a master of hysteroscopy and laparoscopy, but a mentor, educator, a global ambassador of reproductive endoscopic surgery. He is the first Indian gynecologist certified by ASHRAE as a reproductive endoscopic surgeon and a visionary behind JK Women's Hospital, a center recognized by AAGL Center of Surgical Excellence. His leadership expands beyond OT. Is a president of a school of Mumbai, educating over 2,500 students, and serve as a patron of South Indian Association, which manages schools and physiotherapy colleges, etc., with nurturing the young minds across disciplines. A past president IAG, Secretary General of ISAR, and a chairperson of Namas Sankirtana Trust. So this trust is a charity trust for the South Indian that prayers and that they go on with the spirituality. He exemplifies the life dedicated not just to science but the community, culture, and compassion. So let us get all ready for this journey within, both inside the uterus and the heart of this humble master with an explored and incredible hysteroscopic legacy, Dr. S. Krishnakumar sir. Sir, we all welcome you.
Thank you, Sejal, for that very, very kind introduction. And I don't know how to thank the whole team of FOGSI led by Sunita. And as she said, I know her for almost 3 decades, and I cannot imagine the energy with which she is working. This brilliant idea of doing everyday podcast, I think nobody can ever even think excepting Sunita. Right from the time when she was in IAG as the president, when she thought of the Eagle project, this is way, way ahead of what is Eagle. To have every day a podcast of all the chairpersons, committee chairperson, it is incredible. And I am really amazed by her energy, her thinking process, and her vigor. But as she rightly said, she has a wonderful team of vice presidents, the 30 committee chairperson, and of course, the endoscopy chairperson, Sejal, who has been kind enough to call me. And I must really thank you, Sejal, for considering me for this 100th episode, and happy to be here in the real centennial episode of the podcast.
And the heart of me, my joint secretary, Dr. Ashwini Kale, my team. Before we hand over Sejal to you and Kumar, I know I don't call any time Krishna Kumar, I always call Kumar. We just sing our theme song of Ek Rashtra, Ek Mission, and then we leave.
Sure.
Okay. On the go of 1, 2, 3. Ek Rashtra. Unmute everyone. We all, my chairpersons, unmute yourself. Shamal, Surekha, everyone, unmute yourself, and we sing our theme song on this occasion of 100, and then we leave Sejal and Kumar. 1, 2, 3. Ek Rashtra,
Ek mission, personality, Amrit Vatan, Har Har
Who is having a background noise? Can they just reduce the noise? And let's sing all of us together in one go. 1, 2, 3. Ek Rashtra, Ek mission, personality, Amrit Vatan, Har Har. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thank
Bye,
you.
madam. Bye.
Thank you, ma'am.
And
Thank
best of
you.
luck, Sejal. Best of
Thank
luck,
you.
Sejal.
Bye.
Bye.
So, sir, we shall start our today's
Sure.
podcast. Yeah. So, sir, I would like to begin this podcast with your journey. What were your early aspiration growing up in Mumbai, and what led to you in medicine and especially in gynecology?
Right. I was born in Mumbai itself. Right from my early days, I'm a Mumbaikar. And I grew up in a family of 7. And my eldest sister was a doctor. And the gap between two of us was almost 14 years. But the moment I heard I was born, she said, "This brother of mine is going to be the next doctor in our house." So maybe right from my childhood, I was not only told I'll be a doctor, but she had also put in my mind that I'll be a gynecologist. So even when I was hardly 9 or 8 years old, whenever somebody used to ask me, "What are you going to be?" I would say, "I'm a gynecologist." So people were wondering what is a gynecologist? They thought a doctor. Then I had to explain, yes, it's one of the doctor's specialty. So maybe that early imbibing into my mind that I should be a gynecologist never gave up any other choice, and I became a gynecologist. And I'm happy to be a gynecologist caring for women of our country.
So you were so clear from the very beginning that you wanted to be a gynecologist. It is very unusual on those days, sir. So you are trained in some of the world's leading centers, like from Clermont-Ferrand to Sydney and Belgium. What did this global experience teach you that shaped your practice back home in India?
Right. See, when I started after private practice in mid-90s, when the endoscopic surgery was just started, I was wondering whether I should jump into it or not, or start learning, because there were only 3 people: Dr. Trivedi, Dr. Rakesh Sinha, and Dr. Prashant Mangeshkar. And Dr. Prakash Trivedi, being from the same college, always kept on telling me that, "Why don't you learn?" And I used to refer to him patients from my center for all those endoscopic surgery. And at one point of time, he told me that I am one of the top 3 in India for him to be referred a patient. So he said, "You have so much of potential, why don't you start?" But we being happy with the deliveries and MTPs, I was wondering how to start. But I went to learn from him, again gave a gap. Then my wife pushed me. Jayashri said, "No, you have to do something different." And it was in my mind that we have to match up with the best. And I always believed, be second to none. If somebody can do, I should also do. You don't say I am number 1, but I am second to none. That was there. And growing up in a medical college in Bombay, which was considered a little inferior to the topmost medical college in Bombay, everybody coming out from that college considered themselves to be superior. And growing up in Ville Parle, which was a distant suburb those days, now it's actually in the airport area only, but South Bombay always was considered much, much better. So there was always an eagerness and desire to learn and match up with the best. And unfortunately, our interaction with international people also was very less those days. But Prakash Trivedi gave me an idea that I should visit. So in 2000, I visited after learning for 2 years, doing something. When I went there, I saw that they were doing amazing for those days. First time I could see a total laparoscopic hysterectomy. Those days, LAVH was very famous. We were doing up to the uterines, and then from below, clamp the uterosacral and get it out. But there I got, first time I said, these people are amazing. But they were using the best of instruments, and they were very disciplined. They were very, very particular in recording everything. So that gave me a little bit insight that you have to be buying the best, use the best, and it's for you, it's not for anybody. And that made me that when I saw the Clermont-Ferrand manipulator, uterine manipulator, that was the first time I wondered what it was, looking like a AK-47 rifle. Then I went to Stores Company after the course. I saw them, I said, "I want this immediately." They said, you have to pay me money. And those days it was costing around $2,500. I didn't have that much. I told my friend from US to transfer money through his card, and I said, you deliver it in Bombay. But when I brought to Bombay, even the Chimco Biomedical, who were the official sponsors, didn't know what that instrument was and how to use it. And I had seen the Herbe cautery there at Clermont. So when I came back, I ordered the Herbe here, and this guy gave me a wrong Herbe. And then he apologized, and then he gave me the Herbe Vayo. So I was the first in Asia to have the Herbe Vayo those days. So that made me change. And after looking at them, we found that the international people are also as human as you are. They interact, they talk, they behave like you. So the confidence grew. Then we thought that we are also doing equal amount of surgery, and that increased my confidence. And then I opened up a lot.
So
That's the
not only
truth.
you invested time, but also money, borrow or whatever way, but
Yes.
you invested into it and still you are believing the same to have the best.
Best, yeah. Right from the first day, I said, buy the best instrument and rest, forget it. And then I had visited Belgium, Paul Deveroy's place. And with Dr. Sunita, we were at Sydney when I worked with Alan Lamb, Reed. And of course, from that time, me and Sunita became thick of friends. And she was always an inspiring because she never got tired and she was doing everything. I said, I also should at least not totally match her, but at least follow in her footsteps. And that's how I grew in endoscopy.
Sir, that is about the laparoscopy, but how you encounter your first encounter with hysteroscopy and that what drew you towards mastering into it?
Right. That is a very, I think, pertinent question for every gynecologist. First, my hysteroscopy, I was exposed in 1983 when I was a resident, first year resident at TN Medical College, when my assistant professor, Dr. Sudhir Gokral, I don't know if he's there in the audience. I told him because he was the one who was doing those days there. We thought, of course, there was no camera. He used to peep into this with a telescope and used to tell us, see the ostia, see this. So we were not understanding, but that's how the interest grew. But till that time, I always wondered, DNC is a blind procedure. Any woman having so many intrauterine pathology, we say if a DNC cures it, you are lucky, otherwise forget it. So that also always made me feel I am a half-baked doctor. How can I tell my patient that I can't see inside your cavity? So that's how the interest grew. But the actual surgical exposure came when I was training at Dr. Prakash Trivedi's place. And the first day when we went there, his father-in-law is also a gynecologist, was standing in the OT. A beautiful septum he did, and all of us just had to clap. So that was the amazing, because first time I'm seeing a hysteroscopic surgery live inside the OT, and Dr. Trivedi was a master even those days. So that motivated me, yes, we should do. And from that day, I also took a lot of interest in hysteroscopy.
Wonderful, sir. So seeing something that is, that is a basically inspirational seed which grew over a period of time and you excel into it. Now you are the king of hysteroscopy in India.
No, I wouldn't call king, but at least I can do it perfectly. That is what I believe. And I enjoy doing hysteroscopy because that surgery, nothing else can be done.
Sir, can you remember any landmark case or any innovation, how you you put your experience and expertise into it?
Right. Now,
Some memorable, event.
right, as I said, the septum incision, which I saw first time, the complete septum, was the first one which inspired me a lot. And of course, when I saw Professor Betoki in Bombay, somewhere in 2002 or 3, he was operating at Leelavati Hospital. And that time, first time, we all laughed at him when he was trying to do the vaginoscopy method and the whole OT was flooded with water. So I said, why is this gentleman doing this way? But now, after practicing, I understood that's the way hysteroscopy has to be done. So that credit I should give to Professor Betoki, for that was the best innovation one can see in hysteroscopy because of his miniaturization of the instrument. So that innovation, nothing. After that, hysteroscopy has become much, much simpler and more enjoyable, and it looks really artistic. Till that time, the same blind dilatation, and you see blood, debris, nothing else. And that has changed tremendously after that episode. Now, as far as the case is concerned, I can remember a 83 or 84-year-old lady who was staying in an old age home. She read an article on hysteroscopy where I had written it. So she told the manager, there was no relative of us. So the manager of the old age home brought her to me one day. She said, this lady is asking for you for a problem which she can explain to you. And what she was having was a chronic leukorrhea, chronic pyometra discharge. And she said, Pareshan ho gayi hu. So I have gone to so many people, nobody is answering anything. So, but I saw this in Times of India and you have to give me the answer. And believe me, at that age of 84, she was very fit. She said, I want to enjoy my life even at that age. And she's right, people are living longer. And that pyometra was drained so beautifully with that hysteroscope where the os was also not seen, but we could because of the vaginoscopy. And while going, she was almost falling at my feet. He said, first time somebody could give me an answer. And that changed my perspective. I said, women have to be healthy at any age. So that really has changed my look at, and I see that menopausal hysteroscopy is so enjoyable because the answer no other can give. Because blind DNC was so difficult in that pyometra otherwise. That's how, these are two instances which I could really, really enjoy.
Wonderful, sir. So even that gratitude from the patients, that that is the real earning what we feel as a surgeon. Sir, your approach to the teaching hysteroscopy, what you feel that young gynecologists must focus on to it? Like nowadays, everyone would love to have these training while they are in postgraduate level, hysteroscopy, laparoscopy, ultrasonography, and they have to invest so much of their time following the postgraduate level to master these skills. So, sir,
Right.
what would be?
Unfortunately, students coming out from medical college are not that confident of doing endoscopic surgery because of so many factors. We won't go into that. But laparoscopy is something which requires a lot of skill, and as I have been observing in the last 3-4 years, every gynecologist who is passing out of medical college wants to do only ART, doesn't want to do endoscopic surgery. But that is sad. How can a gynecological surgeon say that I don't know laparoscopic surgery? But at least I tell them that even if you're doing ART, hysteroscopy only a gynecologist can do. So hysteroscopy, every gynecologist should not only learn, master it, because it's very simple. You don't really require too much of time. The surgical time is only 20-30 minutes. So you can give. So that's the first thing which I tell everybody who comes to my place or wherever I see them. Number two is, what is neglected is the anatomy and physiology. Now, hysteroscopy is all about changing the physiology of human body. Why hysteroscopic surgery was feared 20 years back? Because we were changing the physiology of a lady in just 20 minutes. And if you change the physiology, you can cause electrolyte balance, you cause hypothermia, you cause fluid overload. How can the human body survive? If the physiology is fit, it can fight everything. So learning physiology is important. So in my training, wherever I do, in my own center for the seismic, my first 2 lectures are anatomy and physiology of hysteroscopy. And every student who comes, they say that they've never thought of this, they've never learned this. We all know what is the thickness of uterine muscular wall at fundus, lateral wall. Everybody just looks up and down. I said, what is the volume of a uterine cavity? I said, learn this, and then you will have no complication. Because if you follow this basic physiology, which I did when there was no teaching, I still am happy to tell that, touch wood, I have not had any complication of mortality or severe morbidity in hysteroscopy. Because that we followed the physiology of human body and the anatomy, we didn't want to, change. You can't go beyond 3 centimeters. You can't perforate that easily. So today perforation is gone into museum. Everything is under vision. So that's what I tell the students, learn this and then learn the technique. Never dilate. That is the another funda. Even you can want to hold the speculum or put it with a valsalum, yes, but don't dilate. Pass the hysteroscope with the fluid and pass the passage. And I find every delegate, every student just stands there. I said, if I'm giving a dilator, you blindly just poke it, and then you are as if you are just entered, you know the path without the eyes. But here you can see, and why are you not progressing? The telescope won't go, you have to go. So that's what I teach them, the basic technique of entering the uterine cavity.
Yeah. So rightly said, sir, blind DNC, because of practice, we can easily do the dilatation blindly. But while having this under vision,
I said under vision you dilate. What is wrong? You push the same in the passage which you see going, but then everybody hesitates.
Correct. Because of we need some more practice and some more vision to get this confidence. So, sir, where do you feel this hysteroscopy is heading towards in future? So, how this youth can contribute meaningfully into it, sir? What would be the futuristic vision of your in hysteroscopy?
Well, of course, hysteroscopy is going in the right direction because I see more and more gynecologists now taking up into hysteroscopy and following the right guideline. So that is very important, and they are learning and they are eager to learn. So the two of the popular courses in seismic is the endometriosis and hysteroscopy. That means people want to learn, and that's very happy or a good news. Well, hysteroscopy is definitely becoming much more simpler because there was a time when every surgery was being done only with that big 9 millimeter resectoscope. Now, with innovation, smaller resectoscope also has come, and passing those smaller resectoscope in any uterine cavity is like a cakewalk, like a walk in the garden. And that's why the surgical expertise or the learning curve has diminished a lot. So it is much easier to do. Even if you don't have the HTRS, it's fine. But if you have the resectoscope, the mini smaller one, it makes your life simpler because you need some energy, especially for polyps, large polyps or submucous fibroid. There it makes it. And another thing is AI is coming in a great way. Like now, I'm sure most of you all have seen what AI directed septal incision can tell you. Because always there was a question, when to stop, how much to cut, which direction to go. But AI is now guiding whether you are in the right direction, when to stop, have you reached the completion. All those guidance will make you much simpler in about 5 years' time. Even robotic surgery is coming up. So training is going to be much, much simpler. Once you have robotic hand, you have two arms inside the uterine cavity. And once you have two arms, hysteroscopic surgery is going to be absolutely a child's play. So definitely hysteroscopy is going in the right direction. And I'm sure unnecessary uterus removal will be still decreased because everybody can remove those smaller pathologies which causes persistent bleeding and a white discharge or leukorrhea. And I'm sure hysteroscopy is going to make women much more happier. And women are living longer, as I said, and hysteroscopy, even at that age, is required because problems of gynecological at that age is totally different than women at reproductive age group or younger age group. And hysteroscopy is definitely going in the right direction. And by all these Eagle projects and they're seeing and learning, definitely, I'm sure in another 10 years' time, DNC will become dangerous and contraindicated. It is only hysteroscopy.
Yeah, even with the advancement in the simulators, and that also helps in the learning, reducing the learning curve. Sir, you have served various associations. You have been president of IAG, a secretary general in ISAR, and you have deeply involved in various organizations in national, international level. So, how important is the knowledge sharing? And how do this association or this platform they impact in a larger way in a larger medical community?
Right.
And I would like to continue this question with why one should join any association, especially the youth, how they can contribute and why they should join. So any message?
I'll answer your last question first. I would say that every young and youthful person should join their organization or society of their specialty. It is very, very important. Though at this point of time, people feel that social media is there, YouTube is there, Instagram is there, I show my work, I show this. Why do I need society? Why do I want to waste time? Yes. So they say learning is very simple now. But believe me, whatever you are, your confidence, once you remain within your own consulting room or your own Facebook, and you are a selfish person because you are only bothered about you and you are only projecting you. You don't want to see the others, and thereby you stop learning. Though you may be thinking you're projecting, you're teaching to everybody. Yes, everybody is a teacher. But in my case, as I said, we always felt a little inferior those days in the late 90s. But once I visited some of the international centers, then I said that if I can do a good work, it has to be showcased. Those days, this social media or YouTube was not there for me to show. So joining the society was the only way where you could get some exposure and you could project your work. But believe me, sharing the knowledge or teaching increased my knowledge, because by teaching you have to be perfect, and not only you increase in your skills, not only you improve your knowledge, but you're socializing so much, your personality changes so different, your confidence level. So those who know me 30 years back, they would never have believed that Krishnakumar can be as confident as he is today. But that is all made because of the organization, society, and teaching. And of course, working with very, very important leaders, as Sunita just said. I was the secretary at the same time to both IAG and ISAR, and everybody wanted, and that too, it was for two years. Same time, they said, how can you work? But then I had some amazing presidents, that was Dr. Durusha, then Rishma Pai. I found them so humble, so particular, and we learned that this is the way you have to manage people. And then, of course, Sunita, I've been seeing her. She's very commanding, but she knows what she wants, and she doesn't, leave you. She will always support you for all your good work. So definitely, I think joining the society and projecting your work not only is recognizable for your local people, but even to go global, to have other countries recognize you. I think joining an association, whether you may be actively participating in the organization as an office bearer, or that is different, but you must be member of every society and actively get involved in that, not only learning, but even their teaching programs.
It is a family beside family.
Yes.
Yeah. So, sir, you have contributed not only to the science, but you are so much active into various other association for public services and spirituality. So, sir, how do you balance both? And actually, what are these works, sir? Kindly just give us some light on it.
No, as I said, I have been brought up in a family of 7, and my father was always a social person. And he used to be respected. He was the president of a school, and he used to have other organization where those days there were not all these modern gadgets, and people would come to take his advice and opinion. That's how, and then we were all respected, like being somebody, family from a person who is really helping others, and he would be the first person to go and help others. And that also put in our mind that you have to be social, you have to be helpful for people, you have to feel sad for those people who are suffering. So I could remember my parents giving school fees to children whose parents were not that affordable. So I would wonder why they are spending those 10 rupees and 20 rupees as fees to somebody who's not even related to us. But then that was so important, and that's how it came into most of my brothers and sisters. We all are that way always with the society, because the moment you are mingling with the society, your personality improvement happens. And you have to give back something to the society. Don't remain selfish with your own work and your own family. Of course, your family is important. There is no way to escape from that. But that's how I became the president of a school where we have students. So my contribution, though I have to definitely sacrifice some time and go there, and you enjoy the flag hoisting ceremony, you enjoy talking to children, you enjoy their progress, and you understand how the modern kid is behaving. So it is definitely important, and other social activities is also part of life. And now with, of course, my son also joining the practice and he taking away some burden of mine, it is a little more easier, because as I started with only MTPs and cesarean, then I did endoscopy, then I did ART, and then so I was all rounder doing everything. Now I can restrict to some part of the gynecological practice and devote some time to all this. So that is important, I feel, and maybe that's why I'm surviving, or we are surviving. We don't know.
We become kid with the kids.
Yes.
Sir, what is the most satisfying role as a gynecologist, as a teacher, as an innovator, as a president of association, or something else?
I think, of course, association most satisfying is to bringing in line some of the problems which were there and getting it solved. And of course, as far as teaching is concerned, I feel that I am so thrilled when in the last 15 years, those fellows who have been trained under me, and though I might have been a little strict, but each and every one of them, each and every 200 students who have worked with us in our hospital, still keep in touch with us and keep telling me that what you taught in those 6 months or 1 year is helping us, and we have not learned any of this in our medical college. So we learned gynecology, but we learned how to be human being and how to practice. So that makes me very happy, and even my wife gets so satisfied that these children, these students or young ones are respecting you so much, and to get that respect is the most satisfying part for me as far as. And of course, as I said, patient care, to provide them the best. We always wanted the best. So don't don't bother about what investment you have to do. If you can give best service, and as I said, I enjoy when people at 70 and 80 come and thank me for solving their gynecological problem through hysteroscopy.
So that is why IAG is not leaving you. You are a permanent past president for IAG.
So, no, as I said, I
Contribution.
enjoy teaching, so I'm continuing to be associated with IAG after starting the cadaver course, which was important, I thought, because those days when we were afraid about ureter, I was wondering why nobody taught me retroperitoneal dissection. And of course, I forgot to name the mention of Dr. Puntambekar, whom I have a great relationship. And so he is a master teacher. And then I got motivated. Yes, so we have to teach every gynecologist the retroperitoneum. And that's where I was after cadaver. And I'm very happy that it is successful. And Puntambekar continues to help me and IAG.
Amazing, amazing. So it's very inspirational and motivational journey to from the very young age, your learning to teaching throughout. Sir, time permits, would like to ask few rapid line questions to you. So your favorite global center where you would like to get trained or would recommend somebody to get trained in recent days?
Okay, maybe I would still say Clermont is the same as what it was. I would say that is one center which one should go. Clermont-Ferrand.
So apart from JK or Women's Hospital. So, sir, your one mentor who shaped your career?
Well, definitely I can't name many, but definitely the one person who shaped my career, I would say definitely Dr. Prakash Trivedi, because he was the one, he said, you have to learn endoscopy. Though you are referring me patient and I will lose all that, he said, you can't lose it. You have to become. And so that is where I listened to him. Maybe I didn't listen for 2 years or 3 years. And then then I wondered, then he also helped me in learning ART. So definitely, as my career has grown, I think I would give a major credit to him in India.
Wonderful. Sir, your proudest moment as an IAG president?
Proudest moment as an IAG president was when I could complete the 40 years backlog of the association with the charity commissioner. So that was the proudest moment, because that was what is in my mind, that you have to clean up all the mess and then keep it on track. So that was the proudest moment.
Incredible work, sir. You have done that. Wonderful. Sir, habit you credit for your success?
People who know me, or rather my son and wife, would say that one character which I have is one of the dangerous is I'm too much time conscious. I am always wanting everything to be on time, because I was handling so many things. So my discipline on time is the most important factor, I would say, is my credit or my plus point, I would say. But it is becoming negative in many aspects, because others don't want to do that. So they try to avoid me.
So moving with time and keep be disciplined. That would be answer. If not a doctor, you would be?
I would have loved acting,
Awesome.
because those who don't know me, I try to do a lot of dramatization. I can act a lot. So that would have been maybe the second option.
Oh, we would love to see one, sir, one of your act then.
As a
And-
comedian, but
Well, so your last but not the least question, your message to young gynecologist.
of course, they are all very focused. My message would be, definitely follow the path of your senior, whomever you think is correct. But I would say that learn hysteroscopy is the message for every gynecologist even today, because I am still seeing a lot of unnecessary, unwanted procedures. So learn hysteroscopy and master hysteroscopy is my message to all young gynecologists.
Thank you so much, sir. It was very, very clear, crystal clear message to each one of us, and very inspirational, motivational journey. We thoroughly enjoyed this conversation with you, and we come to know very interesting facts about you. So, sir, thank you so much for sparing your time and honoring us on this large platform, and we are grateful to President FOGSI, Dr. Sunita Tandulwadkar, for giving us this opportunity, especially today on the 100th episode of podcast GYAAN PRAVAH. And thank you, the technical team Evangel, for arranging all this technical support. Thank you so much, sir.
I must thank you for actually inviting me, but I would say you shouldn't call me as a guest speaker. You should say in-house speaker. We are all Foxians, so we have to say in-house speaker. We cannot be guest. And those wonderful questions which you asked, I hope I could answer to your satisfaction. Thanks to everybody who is in this part of the Gyan Prabha. Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir. We would love to watch this podcast again and again. We'll share you the link of the recording.
Thank you. Thank you. Bye bye,
Thank you.
everybody.
Thank
Good night.